What is up, guys? This is your boy Brandon Groce, self-taught designer, and today we're going to be talking about common UX mistakes that kill your projects. So with that said, if you guys are new to this channel, my name is Brandon Groce. I'm a self-taught designer. I work with large brands such as Disney, Dannon, and Huggies. And this channel is all about being the best designer you can be and getting paid like you should. So if you haven't already, like this video, subscribe to this channel because you guys are going to learn something here. So with that said, getting back into the most common UX mistakes that kill your project. So with that said, back into it. UX is not rocket science. We all know that UX researcher or that UX person that's like, oh, UX is so hard. It really isn't. If you have eyeballs, you have ears, and you have the capacity to think, UX is extremely easy. Creating a great user experience is literally this: observing, ideating, iterating, and testing. Is those four things. If you can do those things, you can do user experience. Let's not complicate this and keep it real simple. So the 5 most common mistakes are: 1, context. Not giving enough context to our clients and to our users. And the users can be the client, especially when you're in the first meeting with them with wireframes. So how do we fix this context issue? Let's start with this. The context problem happens with the client or the user not knowing specifically what they are seeing when being presented wireframes. So within a wireframe, again, if you guys are familiar, black and white and gray lines and boxes, as well as text. There's no styling. A lot of UX designers use lorem ipsum in the text to show to the client the content of the site, just the layout. But the problem with this is that the client or the user have no context when presented the wireframes. They have no context of specifically, what they're looking at. They don't know. I mean, you as the designer know, but they have a very hard time translating what you're saying and understanding in their minds what exactly they're looking at. So step 1 is to put microcopy or some actual content that is in line with what is supposed to be with the content on the page. Don't just lorem ipsum it. Before that first meeting, make sure you have a copywriter with you or somebody, or write your own copy so that you can, as you're walking your client or user through this experience, your wireframes, they have some context to what exactly they're looking at. So that's 1. Number 2 is writing for the user or who your audience is. A lot of the times designers tend to write for themselves in the copy of the content, something that they understand. But we have to remember, from the perspective of somebody who would be using the product and somebody that we're presenting to, we need to speak in the language of those people so that when we're presenting and they're reading these things, they can decipher on their own what exactly they're looking at. Because if we write in our language, our clients and the users don't speak and understand in that language. So we have to switch perspectives, write in their language, so that when they are by themselves and reading those things, they can easily comprehend what it is that we have designed. So that's 2. 1 and 2 kind of go together, but I separated them out just to keep it simple. 3 is not iterating enough, meaning not going beyond that first design. All your ideas out on paper, and don't stop at 1. Don't fall in love with it. Keep going, keep going, keep going, and seeing if there's other ways you can solve that problem. So making more refined design choices by making more iterations. Keep refining the idea. 4 is relevancy, and what I mean by relevancy is what is relevant to the user at that specific time within that experience that you're creating. This is all about simplicity. Keep out the stuff that is not needed. Keep what is relevant to the user in that specific screen, that specific experience at that time. Keep the actions limited to one thing. Keep it simple. Relevancy. And 4 is just information architecture. Make sure that your hierarchy of content makes sense. Again, keep it simple. 4 and 5 are in alignment. Relevancy and organized information. Chunk things together that make sense, that go together, and keep other things that do not need to be on a specific page in their own experience. Keep things that belong together, and push everything else out into their own experience and figure out how to use that. Again, the theme is simplicity. These are some common UX issues or mistakes made by UX designers. So with that said, I named some solutions as well. But also keep these in mind, and remember to always keep the user in mind at all times, as well as always question what is underneath the shininess of UI. Always question, how can we make this better? what is the frame of mind our users are in, what are they expecting, and how can we give that to them. So with that, guys, Brendan Groce, self-taught designer, out. Peace.